Now, when it comes to marketing a new anime for any upcoming season, I have to say, this might be some of the best marketing I've seen, because at first, I thought this was the worst marketing. The poster image was very plain, boring, basic, there was no description, a few tags, and then when we got a trailer, the trailer made no sense and it honestly felt like it was trying to be one thing and failing at it. But then people saw the first episode and everyone loved it, and no one knew what the hell it was, what Mappa was doing, and then it became the most anticipated anime for a lot of people. Coming out of this episode, I have to say this might be one of the better anime of this season. It is very unique, it's very original, at least for the zombie genre, and holy hell was this a great first episode. For anyone who subscribed to my channel or just popped into this video, a lot of people come to these first impressions just to see if they should watch the show. Do me a favor, go watch the first 2 to 3 minutes of the first episode and then come back. If you don't want to watch the full first episode just yet, do that because it's going to be important. The way this episode kicks off, it starts off in the very stereotypical, here's your bubbly girl, she's going to school, she's all happy, and you know something bad's gonna happen. You're like, okay, it's Zombieland Saga, maybe a zombie's gonna eat her, something of that nature. And in such a quick and snappy fashion, that girl gets hit by a truck. And I'm just sitting back, I got startled. It was one of the best directed scenes, and I was thinking to myself, okay, maybe this actually is gonna be a horror anime, because if they were able to startle me and actually, like, seemingly kill the girl off that we were gonna follow, this could actually be a great horror anime. And then as I'm thinking of this, they do slow-mo as they're rolling the credits with this heavy metal, and you just see all the individual shots of this poor girl flying over top of the truck, and she's dead. And I'm just like, okay, this isn't going to be a scary anime. I can tell this is going to be, if not a full parody, or just very comedic series. And this episode, I think, hit all the notes I wanted, and then just went a step above. Having this girl wake up 10 years in the future, obviously she's a living dead. Like, she's obviously going to be a zombie. That wasn't a shocker, but I did like how they started off. Once again, like, you're starting to think, okay, maybe there is going to be some horror elements. She's walking, there's zombies chasing her, but they keep layering in this kind of comedic scenes, like how the zombies would run into the wall. It's just the way the sound effects were working. But when you get the full reveal, like, okay, she's dead, it was very graphic, it was very horror, then they hit you with the comedy. And this manager was one of the biggest and best surprises of the season. You know, everyone always is fighting over who their best girl of the season is. It's gotta be the manager. I don't care what anyone says, this guy is absolutely amazing. When asked, how am I a zombie? How does it work? The guy just shrugs it off and says like, hey, have you ever seen a zombie movie? Okay, let's move on here. We gotta make this idol business work. That's amazing. A lot of people have been burnt out on zombies. I'm still one of the few who still really enjoy the monster. But I do agree it's very formulaic in modern day. Having this guy just shrug it off, be like, you know how does zombie work? I don't need to explain this to you. Let's move on. We're focusing on idols. That is perfect, and that sets this anime apart. The fact that he wants to, because idols are pretty much non-existent, so the market is open for the public, so he can make an idol group. And his idea is, I'm going to take these zombies and turn them into idols. Only one, our main character, has awakened, so she has memories, so she acts like a person despite not remembering where she was 10 years ago. The rest are mindless zombies. This was like, okay, this is immediately interesting. You know, you're trying to put zombies in an idol group, but the idol group is actually a death metal group. It's so perfect. It honestly is absolutely perfect, and it feels so natural despite being such a weird concept. The fact that this group just goes up after all these heavy metal bands have been playing, they're going to get booed off stage, and then somehow zombies fit right at home. They're just doing these weird moves that feel so unnatural for the people watching, but they're loving it. They're like, this is the most metal thing ever, but really they're zombies, so that's why their spines can flick back and forth in this weird and gross way, but ultimately they're still gonna fail because they're zombies, so they're gonna try to eat people. That's just nature of the business. But it was so perfect. Like, I've never seen an anime that takes such a weird concept, idol and zombies, meshes them together, but then I walk out of the episode saying, this actually is the most natural thing I've seen in a while. Like, why didn't zombies do this before? There's a lot of really interesting comedy in this episode, like how when the girl is just kind of sitting around not knowing what's going on, she's just, like, she'll just nonchalantly say like, hey, this girl's been like biting me like 13 times. Can I get some explanations here? Like, what's going on? And you just have this guy who, in his mind, he thinks it's the most logical thing ever. Well, I have zombies. They're all, like, famous people in the past. Why don't I just make an idol group? Like, this is the most brilliant idea ever. And then you have our main character just being like, that's actually the most insane idea ever. Also, how are we zombies? This makes no sense. Just go watch a zombie movie, you understand. That is perfect. And I think the way they directed it, at times they're making you think it's gonna go horror, but then they just shift into the most comedic scenes possible. I think our main character definitely steals the show with a lot of her facial reactions. I think she mirrors what we're feeling, like, I'm just very confused with what's going on, and it's brilliant. But holy hell, just the way they're using the death metal gimmick, the way they're using the idol gimmick, I actually think this could be a very enjoyable and thoroughly entertaining show for the one core it's probably going to run for. I don't imagine this will be a 2-core. I think this will be 12 to 13 episodes, which would honestly be the perfect runtime. And having the episode end with all the other girls kind of waking up is a good thing. Like, I think if they all were mindless and over the season we got more and more waking up, I think it could grow stale, but having them all have personalities at the end of the first episode, obviously we're probably going to see them have zombie thirst for human flesh and things like that. They're still going to act like zombies, but also act like people. That's going to make this idol anime stick out from others, because idol anime aren't the worst thing ever in my honest opinion. I've seen a few that I've actually really enjoyed, but this is an interesting take on them because it's almost like a parody, but also it seemingly is trying to tell an actual story and character arc here. That manager is going to be, I think, one of the best characters of the season. I love how he's acting, how over the top he is, how he just shrugs things off, and how many times I was expecting like a heartwarming moment. We just have one of the characters just completely break down, and it left me laughing. This was actually a very funny episode. It was very entertaining. I think the directing was on point. Mappa, I think, has a star show in their hands right now. This is going to be one of the most entertaining shows of the season, 100%. I haven't had a show that I've been able to review weekly that was just a really fun show, because typically these types of shows, they don't have a lot to break down and discuss, but I think Mappa has something special here, so we'll keep reviewing this weekly. Let me know what you're feeling of Zombieland Saga down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content from me in the future. But until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.